Welcome to the Unfortunate Diehards podcast, episode 17, hashtag Dylan Strome. We're changing it up.
Let's go.
We're not doing Senators Legends.
Sophie's first representation of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
We're
being
never doing
represented.
a Leaf ever.
Yeah.
We already did it.
We already did.
Colin Greening.
Colin Greening.
Leaf legend.
I haven't heard that name in so long.
My only memory of Colin Greening is when I was at the Sens and Leafs game, and it was a tie game, and he scored with 14 seconds left in the third period.
That's a
and the
very
Sens won.
vivid memory. Someone said a name the other day that I haven't heard in like years. Colton Schubert.
Oh my God, Schubert!
I have no recollection of him as a player, but that was
Yeah.
just a name.
Well, welcome to the podcast. I'm Evan. To my left is...
Susie.
Susie.
And to my right...
Omar.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you coming back. Or if you're a new listener, welcome to the podcast. So I'm a Sens fan. Susie
Carson.
is a Capitals fan, and Omar's a Leafs fan. And we're going to be talking about our teams. We're going to be talking about the NHL in general. And we have a couple games to play, like the stat game we've been doing. So Susie has a stat today that we're going to go over. And then we have a head-to-head, as always. We're going to get two players in the NHL, match them up together, and see who each of us prefer and think is a better player. So, hot topic of conversation. We'll talk about how Austin Matthews didn't play tonight and how the Leafs did without him.
Well, Austin...
Actually, wait a
Excuse
second.
me.
You know what we'll do? Omar, how was your week?
My week was great, actually.
What?
My week was filled with...
A roller coaster start.
Yeah, my week was filled with a lot of early mornings. However, and I went for a sleep study. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us all right, we found out. No, I just went for a sleep study.
Went for a sleep study, so I had an early morning then as well. I mean,
He
had a
fully
good
dies in
weekend.
his sleep for 30 seconds and then revives himself. You know this?
Sleep apnea is not. It's not. It's why I went for a sleep study to check if I have sleep apnea.
You do?
Well, I'm waiting for the results. It takes like 3-4 weeks.
Are you going to die?
Yeah,
Let's
well,
hope not.
that long, bro? 3-4 weeks of you just regular sleeping, what could happen? I'll sleep with you.
Well,
Oh.
okay. This took a turn in two negative ways.
Negative?
First, my death, and
Now Suki wants to sleep with me. Those are two things no one wants.
no, it's been the same old. Enjoying the milder weather that January has been giving us. But how about you, Evan?
Good. I went to a couple sporting events this week. I went to the Senators and Kraken game, and the Sens lost 8-4, but Stützle had a hat trick and an assist, so that was pretty fun to see. I also went to the Toronto Raptors game against the Charlotte Hornets, and they also won in a really high-scoring game. And yeah, it was just an overall pretty solid week. Saw some family I hadn't seen over the holidays because they had COVID. And yeah, we had a ball hockey game, and it went really well too, so can't complain with the past little bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the only highlight of my week, to be fair. Ball hockey game. And then I did
This
have,
is getting really depressing.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I did have... what did I do? Oh, yeah. The little rehash from last time. I watched Avatar.
So,
Oh.
Sufi here was adamant that Avatar: The Way of Water was going to be a trash movie. Now, for context for the audience, I've seen the movie 3 times in theaters. And I was telling Sufi here that it's a fantastic movie.
I
And that
wouldn't
he
go
should
far.
go watch it. And he's like, nah, bro, I don't have time for that crap.
I never said that. I also don't talk like that.
Nah, bro.
Yeah,
Regardless,
Regardless, it
but
was-
give them your thoughts.
I did call Omar right after. But it was also... It was a good movie. It wasn't like it blew my mind.
No,
Yeah, but
I mean,
Sufi-
it blows your mind in a visual, from a visual
Sure.
standpoint.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
a
A visual
Sufi blow his
masterpiece.
mind is like a Ryan Reynolds,
Rom-com.
he wants to cry, he wants to laugh, he wants the
I did
woman
cry.
and man to end up together.
No, because I cried when the spoilers, that guy died. The
Oh.
brother.
Okay, guys, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For those who haven't
the
seen.
guy dies.
Yeah. That got me.
Also, check out my review on Letterboxd.
So Sufi, anything else?
No.
Awesome.
Let's
And
talk.
let's pivot to Omar's team. Austin Matthews, gone. Barely scraped 20 goals.
Yeah.
It's clearly he's been lingering with an injury all
Bro,
season
don't
long.
even.
Which is why, he's been struggling for a while with this injury, and that's why his scoring hasn't been at the pace we're used to seeing.
No.
What injury is it?
It's undisclosed.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
literally be like a toenail fracture.
Knowing him,
is-
it's probably a wrist thing. That tends to be what he struggles with.
I wonder what he's doing. Never mind. Can't say that on here.
Oh, God. Okay. So, today's off to a rocky start, man.
Rocky? No, it's interesting. We're quirky. It's pretty late.
So, essentially,
Ugh.
he didn't play tonight. I don't know if he's going to miss any more games or how many games he's going to miss. Like, I'm assuming he's a day-to-day at the moment. However, the Leafs won 2-1 against Nashville. Game just ended within the last 20 to 30 minutes.
And therefore, we wouldn't be surprised to see Matthews on LTIR so they can trade for someone then.
Playoffs.
Yeah. We're going to do that with John Carlson, probably.
Interesting. I mean, if you look at the record, I mean, the Leafs' record without their big players has always it's mind-numbingly good.
Since when?
Okay.
You take a look at the stretch without Riley, Muzz, and Brody.
Those aren't good players.
You take a look at the stretch.
I think that proved that those were good players.
You take a look at this. Their record in general without Austin Matthews, they've been able to pull through with wins.
Weird.
We need to look at a stat on that, to be fair. Because I have no idea if that's true.
It's
Record
a
without
positive
Matthews?
stat. It's a positive stat.
So you're saying
I'm
that
curious.
Austin Matthews
Drags the
doesn't
team down.
help you win.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He just adds some goals and some flair.
No, I'm saying he's
A cute mustache.
Players pick it up around him when he's not around,
Oh.
and they pull through with the win. It's but that's not to say that the team doesn't need him. Without him, the team is not the team.
What a... I don't know why I love that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, there is an AM
Yeah.
in team.
There's an AM
that
in
stands for Austin Matthews.
Yeah, there is no
There's also an AM in Toronto Maple Leafs.
exactly.
There's also TE, which stands for Trevor and Reemsdyke.
Yeah.
Anyways,
What is happening?
anything else about the Leafs?
No, I mean we're at around the midway season mark, playing good hockey, doing well, all good to go.
Yes.
The Leafs are the Leafs. Actually, there's something about the Leafs.
Oh, great.
Murray and Samsonov had a bit of a rough week, let's say. The last two games, a little bit of a recovery. Today was a 2-1 win, so
Who'd they
one
play
goal
today?
against Nashville.
Nashville.
And
So they don't
the
score
previous
anyway.
game they played Philadelphia on Sunday.
Yeah, it was Philly.
Philadelphia on Sunday. So they won that 6-2, and that was a bounce back game for I believe it was Murray who played in that. So they, after giving up 5 goals apiece in back-to-back games, that's what we expect from the goaltending a little bit, just because of we knew what we were getting. But it looks like they're still what they are, so it's all right.
Average. Yeah.
Average, but they're gonna have their stinkers, but they're gonna also come back and they'll give you the good games as well.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is not inspiring for a playoff run.
It's not, but since when has the Leafs ever benefited with anything in the playoff run?
Since when have they had a playoff run?
That's exactly.
Yeah, so I guess gotta try something.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, all we're hoping for right now is that Matt Murray that's built for the playoffs. The only time Matt Murray has had success
Yes.
is in the playoffs.
And the last time he was in the playoffs as a starter, my team won the cup, so I'd actually love that.
This is true.
So, yes, Toronto, Washington, give me that series.
Speaking of that series, Sufi, your team's in a playoff spot.
Yeah, bro, we're firmly, how do you say this, entrenched.
Although you
I don't know
allowed
if that's
Philly
word.
today to move up as well.
Yeah, I don't care about
Move up.
I don't care about those bottom feeder teams, bro. Which Philly, by the way, I think is ahead of Ottawa now,
I believe they are.
which is just
Yeah.
random. But regardless,
Torts Sedlak Clinic.
okay. Side topic. Apparently, Tortorella banned iPads on the bench, which I didn't know was a thing that you could do.
But
But
why would he want? But what? They're not. It's not like they're playing Roblox or something while they're on the bench.
He calls
It's not
them,
like, oh, my shift's done, bro. Let's get on Fortnite. Like what? Like what? They're just going and checking if they could have made a play better, or they're
Well,
checking
I'm
if,
assuming his thought process is, you may have messed up on a shift or something, but if you're looking at the iPad, maybe someone like missed a change or something, or like was late to a change because they were like, "Oh man, I messed up here."
I
It's
guess.
like, all right,
Yeah.
you know you already messed up.
I think a lot of players
Pay
have already
attention
been
to the
used
next
it, though.
shift.
Is that a reason though? Okay, that happened. Let's say that
But
happened.
you can still watch film after the game.
No, you can. But if you're in a game, for like a big thing for players within a game is figuring out a goalie. Let's say a goalie's playing hot. You know, how do we beat him? Let's take a look at my shot. Where was my shot? Where should I shoot? What's open?
The thing with
it gives you a place to look in the middle of a game to be like, hey, look, that's where I shot. Maybe I'll try this next time. Give you a bit of an analysis on what you're doing.
Nick Delorier just came for a change, and I missed it because I was looking at where I should have shot.
No, but they do that right after they get off.
Oh,
Yeah.
Travis Konechny's here.
And you know what they do? It's not like if
Trevor.
I get off the ice,
like
if I get
a
off the
heart
ice, I'm
attack.
looking at I'm not on the very next shift. There's at least 2 lines going on before I'm back on the ice,
Okay.
depending on the player that I am. On the team.
I think the thing with Torres is that he wants everything to be simple, and
Yes.
like I think Philly also needs that because they don't have very many skilled players.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand it for his perspective. It's just weird.
yeah. No one's saying that an iPad is essential in order
Yeah.
to play hockey. You don't need
There are
an
a lot
iPad
of
on the
players,
bench. They played
yeah.
for 100 years without an iPad on the bench.
There's some players that just
Yeah.
come off and are like every single shifter. Like I think they're Ottawa, Stutzel. For us, it's like I think Strome always has an iPad. Toronto is probably all their players just like looking at themselves. So
Marner looks a lot in
Matthews
Toronto.
does too, actually.
Yeah, Marner I've seen multiple times
Yeah.
will look when he gets off. But like
Matthews looks after he scores a goal. Just
yeah,
to
but
admire it.
but again, what with
Which is not very often.
Matthews, if you watch in the press box, he was just watching his own highlights.
okay. So see, let's
It's so easy being a Leafs fan.
to continue that discussion. Let's say a player like Marner, whose game is all about finding openings and finding players and finding cross teams, finding areas on the ice where he can make plays.
Risk assessment.
So for him getting off and seeing maybe a pass didn't go through, or maybe he was on the ice and he didn't generate as much as he wanted to. Okay, let me take a look at how they're defending me. Let me take a look at what seem to be open, what lanes seem to be open for me to make my plays. So within a game, he can adjust the way he's playing with a set of eyes that he can look at the play with on an iPad. So there's benefits to it. Now, Tortorella banning it is not like, you know.
It's kind of just funny. I
It's
don't really
funny.
see it as anything.
It's just I see the benefits of
Yeah.
having it there
Yeah.
for a player to make adjustments within the game.
Imagine
So,
that's like
what I'm getting-
someone requests a trade just because they can't look at iPads.
What I'm getting is Omar's not a Torts guy.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
think very many people
are we
are.
going to get into a Tortorella conversation here? John
I
Tortorella
was talking about the
is
Caps, bro.
John Tortorella is your perfect interim coach.
Get your butts
He's
moving.
the guy who's gonna come and be intense, and he'll get you all pumped up. He's gonna be hard on the guys. He demands accountability. He doesn't care who you are, or what you've done in the league, or what position you play, or what status you have in the league right now. He's gonna give you
venture.
shit if you do crap. He's gonna motivate you, and he's able to. And for a short time frame, he can get you up long term.
I don't
As
know.
a coach, like
Demoralizing.
long term as a coach, this guy. I mean, what's the longest he's lasted in a market?
4 years.
4 or so years, right? Which isn't bad.
not-
It's
yeah.
not bad, but like, is it?
What was I gonna say?
It's just clear that this is a coach who has a shelf life that's very clear. It's a very clear shelf life,
You see-
and it's gonna end. He's not a guy like Joe Quenneville. He's not a guy like who do we have right
That's
now?
a rough person to bring up in this era, but
True, it is.
Mike Babcock.
That's also a rough person to bring up right now.
Trotz.
But he's not a guy.
Trotz was in Nashville for like 20 years.
He's not a guy like Brady Trotz. Even Sullivan in Pittsburgh.
Sucks.
But these are guys that like they have
No.
they have a repertoire with players, or they have a way they coach, and it's legit. They can coach for a while. Like I see a guy like Martin St. Louis to be able to stick with a team for a long time.
He's gonna have some rough patches to get through, but yeah.
But his coaching style and the way they manage players is what determines your systems as a coach don't determine like how long you're going to be at a team. I
Yeah.
don't think anymore.
Not as
Mike
much.
Babcock was able to last 10 years in Detroit with his systems, but everyone hated him. Now clearly the culture's changed, where if you're hated, you're going to go, despite how good your systems might be.
Speaking of coaches, That's pretty much the only thing I have a problem with right now with Caps. It's just like
What
you
you just
liked
said?
them
Yeah, you just said
last
last week
week.
you're gonna
so
extension.
so no, let me explain. So he came. So we have Backstrom Wilson come back, right? Now, obviously, when a team is playing as well as we were for the last like month, any sort of like lineup change is gonna like stunt chemistry a little bit. My thing is, Backstrom and Wilson have played forever here, and he was just throwing lines out there, like, just because he was playing players that didn't even play with like on the first line before, and he's just trying to spread it out, which I guess I get, but like when teams try to do that, it never works, especially when you have the depth that we do. Like our lines, I know by heart now because they made me so mad. It was Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Milano, which actually played pretty well, but then we have Eller on the wing with Backstrom and Oshie. That was a travesty. And then Sheary, Strome, and Wilson, which was okay. And then Johansson, Dowd, Hathaway. Dowd, Hathaway play a very certain style. Johansson does not play that way. So personally, and then because of that, Mantha comes out of lineup healthy scratch. And I guess he's had some issues with like effort, but he's actually played pretty well, all things considered. And I think like, I don't know. I think if we had lines like Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Wilson, which was one of the best lines in the league for like a little bit, and then you put Strome, Backstrom, Oshie, good second line. You get Sheary, Eller, I guess, and Milano, good third line. And then you can have whoever on the fourth line with Dowd and Hathaway. It doesn't really matter. But right now, like with how scattered the lines are, and like you're just ruining chemistry that was already there, and then you're not even trying to go back to the lines that did work in the past when Backstrom were in the lineup, and it's really hurt our offense the last couple of days, or last couple of games. So I assume we're gonna have a lot of lineup changes next game. I don't really love Eller on the wing. I don't really love Eller in the lineup right now with all the players that we have. So I'm hoping something changes. I don't know. Kemper's played really well. I mean, it's literally the only reason we beat Columbus, and then today was just a travesty with all the lines that were changed because the lineup was also completely different on Sunday to today. So I don't know. I do think a Mantha trade is coming. I have no idea where he'd go, but it pretty much has to be a team with cap space because we literally could not have any cap come our way. So Mantha to Arizona trade would make sense, or like a Mantha to, I don't even know what other team has cap space, but like Columbus maybe, I don't know. But some team like that could always just use some sort of player that can play. And he's making 5.5 sheets, so we don't really need him in our lineup. It's just I would much rather have some consistency in our lines, or like have players that have had chemistry in the past play together. But yeah, everything else, I mean, we're third in the Metro, and like we're not too hot right now, but like it seems like every other team is losing too, so it isn't that much of an issue right now. Yeah.
I have a very weird comment that I just thought of. Just with your outfit, it looks like you could be going to a million different things. Like you have a full-on coat on with like a dad cap and jeans.
Am I spitting shit?
I like how you call it a dad cap.
Yeah, it's a dad hat.
It is a dad hat.
That's what they love to call me.
They. Anyways, so
Don't even right now.
the Senators
Suck.
they do. They have been sucking a little bit recently.
Recently.
Yeah. And so the games this week, they lost 3-0 to Nashville and 8-4 to Seattle. I was watching the Seattle game in person in a box. Not a big deal. And oh my gosh, every 3 shots legit went in for Seattle. It was ridiculous. We were sure, like maybe some not great goals went in because of Talbot and Forsberg, but also like there were guys wide open constantly. It was just like everything was going in. And then they couldn't create. And so Nashville's assistant coach or something had brought up in an interview saying Ottawa's really good at scramble plays, but don't have a lot of structure, which I thought was a really interesting point. So scramble plays, it's like quick thinking. You make something out of nothing. And if you think about like the skill they have up front, that should be what they're good at. If it's something random, quick little boom, 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 back of the net. I would agree with that. Structure, I also agree with. I feel like they don't have set plays. They don't have necessarily like line rushes that they constantly do. Now they like sometimes don't dump it, but I guess they're like changing it a little bit. Maybe they're listening to the podcast. Thanks. I'm just not sure. Like it seems like there's no real constant. Now I'm not saying they should have stuck to dumping the puck, but I just don't understand. Like it was a great point to bring up, I guess, but I don't understand what their structures are. Like, I mean, penalty kill's been amazing. Their power play's slowed down, but it still looks good at times. It's just I don't know what they do 5-on-5. It just seems like it's it's a 50-50 who's going to score. If not, the Sens are getting scored on. So
I think at 5-on-5 I've seen a lot this year of like Ottawa's compared to like our teams that have like the experience offense. They don't really have as much sustained pressure at 5-on-5 as many other teams. Like they don't. It's not. I'm not just saying like cycling the puck or whatever. Like if you see, so with Washington, it's when the puck goes to the point, defenseman passes it to like one of our forwards, and then defenseman just goes right and then goes like basically in front of the net, and we do like this whole circle offense thing, and it's created a lot of plays for us. And I think honestly, Toronto kind of does something similar where their defense activates or. They have like this weird cycle play, but like the thing is like I don't see
they play as a cohesive 5-man unit.
Yeah, and like every player is like moving and like passing the puck. That kind of sustained offense I don't really see from Ottawa unless it's on the power play.
Well, that's the thing. That's why when we did our low grades last week, I gave them a C+ because their 5-on-5 play all season has been not up to par.
Yeah.
It hasn't been where it needs to be. And yeah, they've had stretches where their power play is at like 40% or something, whatever. But like it's just 5-on-5 play with the top six that should be putting more sustained pressure. That should be gelling a bit more 5-on-5. It's just not been there.
Especially with like such good special teams, especially over the past like couple months, like you'd expect a much better record. But it is just 5-on-5. That's not like I think it's a good point saying like 5-on-5 they don't create that much, and they should. But my assumed idea for this is because DJ Smith was a defensive defenseman, so he's getting his guys to be like more defensively responsible, so not jumping up as much. But then I hate to say this, there's two things on defense that I don't love. So I think Chabot is a really good puck mover. He's a great skater, but he's really weak on the puck. If you see him ever go down low, he gets bodied off almost every single time. And there are guys that can go down low and, like as a defenseman and still do well. But he's just like, on the point, he's solid. But when he's in the corners, he loses the puck every single time. Someone like Giroux, he's not a big guy, but he can go into the corners and win you the puck battles really easily. But Chabot, just it's not his forte. So I'm not saying he shouldn't jump into the corners per se. But, for someone who is like recognized as a pretty solid overall NHL player, I feel like he's less strong than I thought he would be. So I don't know if he should next season like work on his strength in the off season or what, but that's something I've noticed. And yeah, they don't have people who can like cycle as much. Like the defensemen don't seem to do that. They always seem like they're on the point for Ottawa. And something I noticed that if they were to get another defenseman hypothetically is I don't need them to play as good a defense as like Artem Zub. I don't need them to play offense because we have guys for that. I just want a really big defenseman. Like if we have a 6'4" guy that can be tough in the corners and be like solid defensively, that's what I think would benefit us the most because we have the puck movers. We have like Zub who can just be an absolute darling. But then we have like Holden, who like we don't have a really big defenseman. We have guys who are like Holden's like probably like 6'2". Like he's older. Like Branson's small. Zaitsev's all right recently. Like when he did play, he was playing
like
okay.
Josh Manson.
Yeah, like a Josh Manson, like a guy who's just big and tough to play against, like annoying to play against.
Not
but
like
we
horrible
don't
defensively either.
Yeah, so
not
we
like
don't
Sherrod
have
something like that.
Yeah, and we don't have that, and I think that would be the biggest.
I think you had that to more of an extent in Kachuk. I don't think he's been like that as much this season.
In defense, though.
On defense specifically, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On specifically on
Okay.
defense.
Yeah,
for us, I guess it's like Orlov.
Yeah.
It would be that.
Actually, Leafs don't really have anyone like that on defense either.
Well, yeah,
but we have like it goes from it goes 3 guys on defense for Ottawa, And then after that, it's like I said before, like all 6th, 7th guys probably.
Yeah. No, defense is an issue with the Sens for sure. But like it all comes into their 5. Their 5 on 5 play, whether it's defense or offense, are both not what they need to be. And I mean, you see it when we've been to multiple games, all of us this season. We went to the Washington Ottawa game all together. And I think we can all agree that 5-on-5 Washington was dominating that game.
Yeah.
And Ottawa was, I think Ottawa had a couple of power plays. Probably was hot, so they tied the game on 1 power play goal.
Well, that's 3 power plays in the third, and that's how they tied it.
Exactly. So I mean, but 5-on-5 play, I was like, Ottawa can generate nothing. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know what, like, it seems like the Tkachuk, DeBrincat, and Giroux line.
That's not a line.
Sorry, Tkachuk, Giroux, and Stützle line. Sorry, yeah, Tkachuk, Giroux, and Stützle line. It seems like they're the only ones that have some kind of chemistry together, and they can generate.
Well, Batherson and DeBrincat have moments, but Pinto's not a top 6 forward yet. Yeah. He was hot at the beginning of the season, but like they're really missing Norris at this point in time. Like a guy who, was good defensively last year, who can score you like on pace for 40 whatever goals last year, and would really help the top 6 right now because I think like we're putting a guy in the middle who's probably a third, like probably not a great third line center, but he's all right because he's so young. But like between 2 guys that are supposed to be like offensive weapons, and they have shown in past years that they are. But I think Norris would just tie that line together really nicely and add that, or like match that kind of offense, or at least be like, I know this is a stretch, but I'm saying like how Bergeron, when he's played with those guys, has gotten tons of points. But he's had other years where he doesn't play with those 2 guys. And he's still good, but he doesn't produce as much without those wingers that are so offensively gifted.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, all of this just tells me is that, sure, the Sens could use another guy or 2 on defense, but they need a new coach.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this isn't really personal. For me, this isn't as much of a personal. Like, they could use players for sure. It's this comes out that 5-on-5 play comes out to coaching, and why he's still there after. They're not going to fire him mid-season. I don't think they're not bad enough to fire a coach mid-season.
They're not. Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
Regardless, so this brings up the point that I think the 3 teams that were kind of on the outside looking in, the 3 young teams that are literally all in the same spot now, all have one glaring issue on their team. That's why they're probably not going to make the playoffs. With Ottawa's 5-on-5 play, with Detroit, there's a severe lack of offense at times, and with Buffalo, it's literally the opposite issue. Where I think they're leading the league in goals per game, but they're also like bottom 5 in goals against.
Yeah.
So each of those 3 teams, like, they may have a shot at the playoffs, but they have very, very major issues that'll keep them on. Honestly, even the Islanders at this point are kind of on the outside looking in for a similar reason, where it's their goalie standing on their head and they can't score goals, which seemed to be the problem that they had for years. We thought they fixed it. That's why they were so high up, and then they've been dropping down the standings.
It's looking like the East is going to come up with a little bit of it's going to be a fun ending, just with how close the teams are in that little middle pack, and what, the wild card spots that could be up for grabs come the last 15.
It is. I think it's going to come down to
Josh Norris coming back.
It'll come down to the Metro. Like, I think right now Carolina's gone. Like, but from Devils, Caps, Pens, Isles, there's gonna be, I'd say, 2 of those 4 teams easily. Well, obviously 2 because they have to be in the division. But then right now the Metro also holds the 2 wildcard spots, and I don't really see that changing. Like, because then you still have another Metro team that's just outside. And then you have the 3 Atlantic teams, which is Detroit, Ottawa. Well, 4 Atlantic teams, which is Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo, Florida.
Yes.
I don't even think, I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 of those missed the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like one of them might squeeze in.
Maybe, but they're gonna have to go on a run. That's the thing. Like, they're gonna have to have a very above 500 record for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I think Florida might be the most capable of it, but they have been horrible.
Yeah,
Florida. And it's been very win loss. So
yeah.
I don't know.
And in the West, we've got not much of a battle anywhere.
Well, Pacific's going to be a battle till the end because all the teams suck. So, literally any team could win that division. Vegas is like decently far ahead, but they could have some sort of losing streak, and they could be just as far down as the other teams. But the thing is, like, they've also had some things faltering where their offensive players aren't as hot, and Thompson hasn't been as good either. So that whole Pacific Division is just like kind of up for grabs right now.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about the NHL a little bit more later, but we're going to go on to our stat game we've been doing recently. So we've rotated through each of us, picking a stat from any time period, really. And so I've done a block shot one and a shots one, and then Omar did one that I'm sure if you listen to made absolutely no sense. But we've grilled him enough about it already off camera. So it's Sufi's turn to tell us a stat, and Omar and I will have some guesses to see who is in the top 10 or whatever Sufi's chosen, and will tell us how many strikes we have as well.
Okay, so this is from 2010.
2010.
2009-10.
All right.
Till now. Top 10 forwards. Average time on ice. Minimum 200 games played.
Phil Kessel's in there.
No, he's played a lot of games. Doesn't mean he's on the ice all the time.
If it's going back to 2009-10.
2009-10 till now.
2009-10 is when he got traded to the Leafs. 9-10, 11-12, 13-14, 15.
I'll give you guys 5 strikes.
And he was their top. And
Five?
5 strikes.
And he was their top guy on the Leafs. For 5 years, he played over 20 minutes a game.
Did he play a lot in Arizona? Does he play a lot in Vegas? That's like 3 years.
Yeah, but then Pittsburgh?
Okay, he doesn't play more than Crosby or Malkin.
Yeah, he did.
When they do play, and if they're playing 200 games, then he's not out doing that.
Yeah, no.
You goof.
He's still...
It's going to be people that play in all situations, like Brad Marchand or something. He plays penalty, kill, power play, and 5-on-5.
Yeah, Brad Marchand was probably in there.
Or it's going to be Connor McDavid, because they run him.
Yeah, but that's 6 years later.
No, but it's minimum 200 games played.
Average time on ice.
So it doesn't mean you have to have... It's not like your stat. That made no sense. It is not games played and...
I'm not combining it. That's way too like a mind trick.
Okay. I feel like Connor McDavid could be one.
I feel like Shabbat's got to be there.
It's
forwards.
Oh.
I may as well do this alone. Okay.
Sorry, I forgot that.
Okay, so
just
I'm going
forwards.
to... People I'm going to throw out is Marchand maybe.
Yeah.
McDavid. Maybe
No,
like...
but so are we including centers in this for sure? Like
All forwards.
all forwards, okay. Sorry.
Oh my...
He's asking, no question's a bad question.
Maybe Kopitar. Barkov. People who play anything.
Yeah. 2015. Well,
What do you think? Okay, let's go with McDavid.
from 09-10, yeah.
Let's go with McDavid, because he's definitely played over 200 games.
Okay, that's still David, yeah.
Connor McDavid. Oh.
First.
Crosby probably as well.
Do you think?
Well,
Or Matthews, actually. Doesn't he play a lot?
Matthews
Or
does
Marner?
play. I would say Marner more because Marner plays penalty kill.
Do you think Marner could be one of them?
I mean, they both
Like, are
play.
you just being a biased Leafs fan, or do you think he could actually be one?
No, I think Marner could be one. I think he plays a lot of
Over
minutes.
Barkov or Marchand?
I don't know what
I think
Marchand's
Barkov's
average
our
time on
next
ice is.
best
What's Marchand's average time on ice
I don't know.
per game?
You're like asking me like I know.
What is it? I don't know.
But like, what does he hover around?
Let's go
23,
Barkov
24?
first.
Okay, let's do Barkov.
Barkov?
He's 11th.
Oh.
By the way, by 3
Is he
seconds.
tied for
No,
11th?
he's by 3 seconds. He's 11th.
Okay, that's why we go Marchand.
Okay.
One
I feel
shot.
like it's going to be centers, though. I feel like actually Claude Giroux could be one. But, because you have to think of someone who in the 200 games didn't change where they were in the lineup either. They had to have been a top 6 forward the entire time. For however many.
For
over
reference, by the
200.
way, 200 games is like
3 seasons.
2.5 seasons, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would have to have been good the entire time they played in that amount of time, probably. Or if the 200 games or whatever they played, they would had to have been good.
I mean, I think
So it could be like Matthews
Oh yeah.
or Marner.
I feel like one or if not both are in there.
McDavid has 774 points in 529 games. Anyways,
Mitch Marner.
Yeah, Mitch Marner.
is 25th.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay.
so it's probably centers.
Ovechkin's got to be in there too, though.
Well, I don't know about that.
I mean, 200 games, time on ice. No, you don't think so?
I think it's gonna be like guys around the like two, or maybe.
This guy-
Actually,
like,
could
I don't
also be
think-
Dreisaitl.
Yeah, like I know Ovechkin
'Cause
doesn't
they
kill
run him
penalties,
too.
but he plays like 2 minutes on the power play every time.
Sure, but I don't know. Dreisaitl. If McDavid's there, Dreisaitl might be there.
I feel like Draisaitl should be there.
Dreisaitl.
7th.
Ooh.
So you got
Did we
Let's
say,
just,
we
let's
didn't
just
say-
go all Oilers.
you got 2 strikes.
Warren Fogle. It's a joke.
Wait, did we
Three
say?
strikes, no.
What do we think about Bergeron?
No. I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't know. I think. Do you really think that Marner's played more minutes than Matthews overall?
Overall, I don't. I mean, okay, Marner sometimes racks up more in games because of the penalty kill.
Oh, by the way, I'll give you... So, McDavid was first with 21.44. Leon Draisaitl was 7th with 20.25.
So it's really close.
I think Matthews is in there.
You think?
Yeah,
You say it.
Matthews.
It's 23rd. With 19.33.
Oh, it's so close.
Oh man.
And Marner was 25th with 19.31.
Okay, we have to think of teams that run their guys a lot.
By the way, 3 strikes.
So teams that are maybe top heavy.
How about Dylan Larkin in Detroit?
What about like Colorado? Because they had years where they ran their top guys a
So
lot.
McKinnon or Rantanen or Landeskog
Yeah.
would be the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And of those 3, I'm gonna go. Wait, McKinnon didn't kill penalties. I don't think. Landeskog, anyone kill penalties? I don't know if anyone kill.
But they would
penalties.
play other guys more. Okay, let's go with because they play McKinnon the most, probably, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I would assume. I think so.
Okay, you say it.
McKinnon.
13th. 19.52.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's
This
4.
is
four
tough.
strikes. Yeah.
I have literally no idea
Let's go.
because it's so close.
After your 5th strike, I'll give you hints, but like not. I'll give you broad hints.
Okay, I feel like Dylan Larkin could be there. I have a feeling Dylan Larkin's in there. Like, I mean, for a while.
We've only gotten 2.
Yes.
Okay, for a while, Dylan
Got
Larkin
one
was
in
is
seven.
like the only guy on Detroit, and he's been playing since what 2015. Wasn't Dylan Larkin? Yeah, 2015. He's been playing since, and Detroit's been ass.
But was he in the top 6 the whole time?
Yeah, top 6 the whole time, and I'm sure Detroit rode him hard. Like there was not who else was there at least until 20. Who do we even? Yeah, at least until very recently, there was no one but Larkin on that team, in the top 6. Come on, he's got to be there.
I feel like you're convincing yourself that he's going to be there.
Well, right now I don't know because of this. This is tough, but I mean, if we're talking about teams that like we think really road guys, like okay, Matthews, Marner, fine, but they were.
Patrick Kane.
I mean, yeah, why not Patrick Kane as well?
I'm trying to think of guys that like. This is so tough.
I mean, I want Kopitar is a possibility.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah,
It could be like the perfection line, the Boston line. They could all be in there, for all we know. It could be Crosby.
yeah, I think it may be, but I don't know.
Sidney Crosby.
Are we going for it?
Are we?
5th.
Oh!
Yes. Okay. yeah,
20.42. You got 1, 5, and 7.
All right. So far they've been really big name centers.
I wanna say Bergeron's in there,
Okay.
but we can leave him for later if you're not convinced.
Who else is a big center?
Well, Bergeron, Kopitar, McKay, we already said. Crosby's in there.
Eichel? Jack Roslovic? Okay, let's just say those guys.
Shifley?
No. I don't know. I have no better guesses, so we could just say those guys if we want.
But what do we... Okay, we have one strike. So, let's rank them at how
I
we
think...
Well, but let's just go through. Okay, so... From Detroit, if we had to pick one out...
I don't think Larkin.
But we won't go for him. We have...
Sebastian Aho? He's...
Carolina.
I think been in the top 6 the whole time, or most of it.
When did he start?
No, but he's played 200 games, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know he played 200.
Oh! Or like Stamkos or something.
Time on ice in Tampa for Stamkos with Kucherov, with Hedman, with all the other guys.
I'm just trying to think of guys that would have been playing a lot
But, like,
in the top 6.
Yeah, but like Matthews and Marner play a lot in the top 6, but they didn't make it. They were so like under. It's so close. Is Stamkos really wrote that hard in Tampa?
Can I ask how many are retired?
3.
Ooh, 3 guys. So who's retired in the past decade that have played 200 games?
Sedin twins.
Why was that so fast? Yeah, Sitting Twins could be there. I don't think they played penalty kill though.
I doubt they did. Oh, if one may have, I would assume.
Let us know in the comments or on Twitter, whatever. If you're screaming at us right now, let us know who we should be saying.
Okay, so guys that retired in the last.
You got one more strike here. Just guess one.
Let's just throw it out.
Okay,
It's
so who
Bergeron or Kopitar probably.
Okay, so I'll give you this one to pick.
Who would you lean towards? Or Claude Giroux. Okay.
See, Boston has always been not that they've been top heavy, but they've always that Pasternak, Marchand, Bergeron line's been crazy. Always played a lot. But then on the other hand, LA for a while only had Kopitar.
I would lean Kopitar.
I think I'm leaning because of that. I got
Kopitar.
second.
Number 2.
Second.
Okay.
Maybe Bergeron's also there.
21:06. Which, by the way, the biggest gap here is McDavid to Kopitar by like 40 seconds.
Well.
So you have 1, 2, 5, and 7.
Should we also say Bergeron at this point? I mean, who else are we going to say? Dylan Larkin, apparently. Andrew Kopp. I'm taking the executive decision.
Yeah, fine. Let's go Bergeron.
Patrice.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the name.
Yeah, he didn't.
Patrice Evra.
We're not counting that. He didn't finish anything.
Patrice Bergeron is not anywhere on this list.
Okay, let's just say.
All right.
He didn't say
Well,
anything.
we may as well just throw things out now because we lost.
Oh, yeah, you lost, but yeah. Here's a hint.
Jack Eichel.
10th.
Oh!
He just squeezed in. Look at that.
Yeah, you guys are emphasizing penalty kill way too much here.
Yeah, So. Yeah,
Ovechkin.
That's
Yes,
right.
8th.
Yeah, come on.
I said Eichel. Don't say I'm stupid.
But I told you.
Okay,
You
okay. Dylan Larkin.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Shut
Larkin
up.
was actually like 30-something. He was there somewhere, 32.
Okay, all right.
So you have 1, 2...
I mean, it was a logical way to go
Yeah,
about
it was
Claude Giroux.
No. 1, 2,
Yeah.
5, 7, and 8, and 10 you guys have. So you need... 3,
Johnny
4.
Gaudreau.
No. But he was like top 30 or something, I'm pretty sure. Or no,
Stamkos.
40. Nope.
I knew Stamkos wouldn't be
He's
there.
21st.
That's better than.
Okay. Let's say
3 and 4 are retired.
Oh.
And 3, 4, and 9 are retired, and then there's...
Let's throw out a Sedin twin just for fun.
and then 6 is active.
Daniel
Sedin.
and Henrik Sedin.
No.
None of them are in there.
6 you guys have said, and he's active.
Six
You
is
said
active.
him?
You've said him as something.
Who said him?
You.
Oh, I'm smart.
So
Wait. No, it would have been him.
Okay.
I said
know.
it.
So he's smart?
He doesn't play on the penalty kill.
Oh. Evgeny Kuznetsov.
Wait, we didn't say Marchand, did we?
Who? You know who we didn't say? Jack Roslovic. I'm just kidding.
We didn't say
Oh, right.
Marchand, right?
No.
Marchand?
No.
Okay.
Oh. It's a Colorado guy.
Oh.
Gabriel Landeskog.
McKinnon?
Rantanen.
No.
Rantanen.
They're all in like the top 30, but they're not in the top 10.
Is Phil Kessel in there?
No.
Oh,
Imagine he was like 1. Yeah, because I was in the top 50.
Mark Stone.
Oh, yeah, I just passed him, but he was fucking... Where is he?
Whoa, language.
No, I said freaking. 37. Nick Suzuki's 48. Daniel Alfredson is 47. Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he did retire in the last decade, yeah.
Wow.
Bro, 0910.
Bobby Ryan.
Okay.
No hints. We're just gonna.
Okay,
Patrick
so-
Kane.
Yes, he's 6.
He's in, okay, yeah.
He's
I
6.
said him, but I never said no to him. We just
He's
talked
6.
about him.
Hate
The last 3 players are retired.
Pavelski.
No. Last
Retired.
year's retired.
Oh, we
one-
only have retired ones
Yeah,
left?
one is recent retiree, and then the other 2 are 3rd and 4th, and they retired. Well, one isn't retired; he just doesn't play in the NHL.
Joe Thornton.
No,
Yager.
no.
Datsuk.
The other one's a coach now.
Formanton.
Datsuk.
No. What?
Zetterberg.
No.
One's a coach?
Yeah.
St.
Like-
Louis. St. Louis. Yeah.
What?
2057,
Wow.
and he played
What the
444 games still.
He retired when again? 20...
2015 maybe.
Yeah, okay.
16.
Okay,
something like
wait. You said
have 9
one.
and 3.
Okay, that's the coach one. What were
that.
the other ones?
One's recent retired, and one's
Not retired technically.
When you say recent, you mean in the last year, 2 years?
I think last year.
Who retired last year?
Marlowe?
He might have played last year, and then just he's not playing this year.
Or Thornton?
I said Thornton. He said no.
He this one. You guys are probably pretty pissed off. You haven't mentioned him once.
Who retired last year? Who retired the last year? Marlowe? Thornton?
Is he good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, who would like him the most out of the 3 of us?
I would hope you would.
Me?
Yeah. He has a cup.
Senator?
No, it's not a senator.
Hossa?
No.
I don't know.
It's not like I don't think you guys either of you have like major affiliation with him or anything. Like he's a good player. He's a good guy.
It's a good guy.
Yeah. Solid
He's
dude.
won a cup. Oh. Getzlav? Yeah.
Getsy
Yeah.
is 9th. No one mentioned him. I was like, bro, like he's the first line center in Anaheim for like years.
And the
Third.
last one is
Third, he was a winger.
he was a winger. Now
Well, he
he's-
is a winger.
Now he's
Now he's playing somewhere else.
playing like in heaven.
No.
Somewhere else.
He's a winger, he's playing somewhere else.
Oh, Ilya Kovalchuk.
Yep. Third.
Yeah.
Wow, I would not have guessed Ilya
2106.
Kovalchuk.
So full list: McDavid, Kopitar, Kovalchuk, St. Louis, Crosby, Kane, Draisaitl, Ovechkin, Getzlaf, Eichel. And then 11, 12, 13, Barkov, Scheifele, McKinnon. 14, Ryan Kessler.
Really?
Kessler.
Penalty kill.
Yeah, that's your penalty kill. All your penalty kill guys are from like 10 to 20. It's,
Alex Burrows is probably...
we got Barkov, Scheifele, Kessler, Taves, Giroux, 17,
Oh, he's close.
Zetterberg's 19. Yeah. All your penalty kill guys are like a little bit lower. It's the guys that play like 2 minutes on the power play that are in the top 10.
Well,
Yeah.
that was kind of tough, actually.
It's
Hey,
not-
of all of our... Have we ever won one of these?
I don't think so.
No.
We've never won, eh?
It's 10 players, bro. Like it's meant to be hard.
Man, that was tough with like all the retired players and stuff. Like, I would have never guessed
Kovalchuk was tough.
Getzlaff.
Kovalchuk and stuff.
Getzlaff should have been guessable, though.
Getzlaff didn't come in my mind ever.
No.
Yeah.
Getzlaff, for me, was in, like...
But regardless of
Kopitar
if he was
territory.
still playing or I didn't even consider him whether he was
But
playing
that's
or
the
not
thing. You have
playing.
to think about it, right? Like, he was the first-line center on Anaheim for, like, 10 straight years.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, so the New Jersey Devils aren't doing as well as they once were.
Goaltending.
Goaltending.
Mackenzie Blackwood sucks. And that's not even, like, an understate or, like a exaggerated thing to say. And so many Leafs fans wanted Blackwood. Even, like, Nick was saying to me, he was like, I can't believe I wanted this guy. And then he just, like, sees a replay of Blackwood just passing it to the other team and them scoring.
Well, I remember when people were making, like, in COVID, like, hypothetical Team Canadas, and they had him as a starter.
Yeah,
There's
I
like
mean-
14 goalies from Canada, and Canadian goaltending is not that great anymore. So like that says a lot.
Canadian goaltending is not great
It's
at all.
literally
yeah.
right now. I'm telling you, it'd be like Hart, Kemper, Jari, and just like okay, like
You might even have Flurry over one
Yeah.
of them just for, like,
but and the thing is, it
experience,
still
yeah.
wouldn't even matter because we'd still win.
Yeah, no.
That's a good question. Do you think if there was an Olympics, do you, in your heart of hearts, without bias, think that Canada would win?
Yep.
I would be scared of U.S., but other than that, I don't really think we have that much of a competition with anyone. Straight up, like for me,
Russia would be. Their defense isn't great, but
Their
their
goaltending.
forwards is really good, and their goaltending's phenomenal.
goaltending's up.
Yeah,
They could have their
Goaltending's
top
but
3 guys get hurt and still have a phenomenal goal.
We have 3 of the top 5 players in the world. Our goaltending just needs to be like, we have 4 of the top 5 players in the world.
Oh, who are your top 5?
Oh, damn, I can't have Crosby in there. We have 4 of the top 7 players in the world. Regardless.
Wait, you keep changing it.
Okay.
Who are these people?
Bro, McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, and Makar. You can have anyone in that. I don't care.
Wait, why did you say 7?
I don't know. I don't have Crosby in my top 5, so. But regardless.
Yeah, he has him as the greatest of all time.
Well, I mean, like right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but regardless,
I get
like,
point pace.
but not anymore. He was on 90. Oh, actually, just on pace for more words than him.
Well, we'll see.
Anyways, because after that, like even the supporting players, like you have those 3 players, and then you have Stone, Marner, Huberdeau, Stamkos,
Shabbat.
no, like our defense with like Makar, Taves, Theodore. There was so many options on defense that
Pietrangelo,
maybe. Like I mean, if we're doing it now, it would be Pietrangelo. Like maybe down the line, who knows? But we have so many options everywhere, except for maybe goaltending, where like we're gonna have a good goalie regardless. It's just not gonna be the caliber of like Russia, but they also have a lot more things to make up for on their like decor.
You know what I would love to see? A Canada like down by 1, like not like I don't love the scenario, but a Canada pulled goalie. Which 6 guys would you put out there to score a goal? Me, I'm going Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon, Makar, maybe...
Do you go defenseman, though? I don't even know.
Makar, yeah.
No, I mean, like, aside from Makar.
Oh, I was thinking then maybe, like, Marchand...
And Marner.
And Marner?
I'd go 5 forwards, 1D. And that
or maybe Stamkos for, like, a 1T option?
We'd also have Bergeron, too.
Yeah.
Not for that,
maybe
like, I'm just saying in general.
Maybe you put Bergeron on strictly for the face-off win.
Yeah.
Get him off.
But even then, you wouldn't have to get off. You have 6 players passing the puck around. Like, Bergeron just going for the net.
Yeah.
You still have probably a better option.
Yeah, like, I mean, but honestly, Crosby himself is good at face-offs. So, like, he'd be... It just depends on which side it's on, pretty much.
Yeah, U.S. would be the only team that, like, scares...
But U.S., I was, like, looking at their team, and I was like, this team is nuts. And I didn't really, like, process how good it was and how good it's gotten recently. Especially with a lot of, like, their young players. That just, like, that development program is insane.
Yeah.
Fox...
like a lot of new players, man. Fox, even Matthews to this extent is pretty new for USA hockey in the Olympics. Fox, the Kachucks, Matthews, goaltending would be pretty good too. Ottinger, Hellebuck, Gibson. Yeah. But you only need 2 goalies realistically. So, and DeBrincat, their decor would be solid. Like there's a lot of players that wouldn't return to that decor, like McDonough.
Yeah.
Because he's been horrible this year. But there's a lot of players on that team. Even and the other teams are really good, like Sweden, Russia, they're all good, and they can, like, on any given night, they can maybe get, like, a good goaltending performance, or, like, one of their superstar players can take over, but I don't really see any team beating USA or Canada for a gold.
Yeah, I mean, I could see, like, if it's a 1 game, like, I could see, like, maybe like a Sweden, Russia, or Finland win a game against one of them. Like, and it just, maybe they get outplayed, but because Markstrom has a really good game, Carlson has a really good game, and Zibanejad has a really good game. Like, they still have players that can win them hockey games. Just, it's going to be so much harder when you're playing against guys who on regular NHL teams are averaging 2 points per game, as in McDavid. And then you're having them with the other best players in the world, you could argue.
Just McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, Makar. That's just... what? I have no words for that.
Yeah.
Like, that itself, you could put, like, the most, like, decent players. Other than that, I would still be pretty confident in our chances.
Yeah.
But, and the thing with Sweden, too, like, they have pretty good goaltending. Every other country pretty much has really good goaltending.
A fun team to watch, just because of their, like, couple star players, would be Germany. Because I feel like, they're not going to win, really. But
when you say that because it's Stützle?
They have Draisaitl, Stützle, and Seider, who are 3, like, really good, still young players, all of them, realistically.
JJ Peterka is pretty good.
Yeah.
He's having a good rookie year.
Like, it'd be, like, just 4 guys, and it's like, none of them are just like, he, like, scrapes the NHL. Like, all of them are, like, in top 6s or, like, top pairs or something. Yeah. So that'd be a fun team to watch, I think, just for something different, because I feel like it's been those, like, top teams like Canada, US, Finland, Sweden, Russia for so long that it's like, it's kind of cool seeing not even just like a player like Ehlers or Yossi out of nowhere, like a team over the past like what 6 years ago, I probably couldn't name you a single person on the German team, but now I could name you 4 or 5.
I think Finland could put on like a decent team as well. They have pretty much all the World Junior team from 2016 with like Laine and Aho and
you have like Heiskanen.
Yeah, Saros and net.
Yeah, it's a good team.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guess we'll see.
We'll see me on Team Pakistan. We'll probably make the jerseys. Anyways, let's move on.
So, in the NHL, are there any players, any teams, any occurrences at all? Goals, maybe?
I just
that have
love...
caught your eye the past week or two?
I love Jack Hughes' personality. I think I'm becoming one of those fangirls at this point.
You're a TikTok girl?
Apparently. Bro, he's so funny. Because he's just like... He's an absolute menace on the ice. He looks like he's trying like 125 million%. And then he gets off the ice, does an interview, and he just looks so disinterested in anything anyone is saying. And he just sounds cool. I don't know. I want to be Jack Hughes' friend. He's pretty chill. I think I need to get a Jack Hughes jersey as like my 14th jersey that I'm going to get in the next 10 years.
This jersey list keeps growing, but you never get even one jersey.
No. Sufi has said he's going to get, I kid you not, since I've met him, probably like 25 different jerseys. Yeah. And he's still wearing a youth extra large Ovechkin jersey.
We gotta wait for the income to come in, you know.
And Sufi is not a youth extra large, I'll tell you.
Yeah, hey, but it still fits. The arms don't fit. Everything else fits-ish. But yeah, no, I love Jack Hughes. I like the way he plays too. It's just, I don't know. He had a rough couple of first years, and I think it was more so the fact that like he was still, looked like a premature baby. But
seeing a lot of weird stuff.
This is late night Sufi, bro. And then
talking about premature babies.
Yeah. No.
The late night show with the unfortunate Diehards.
Yeah. Anyways, he may have I don't know. He's definitely gotten a little stronger on the puck, and like he's able to do more in the zone rather than just like off the rush. So he's been pretty exciting. Also, the LA Kings, just like looking at their team on NHL when we were playing with them, I didn't realize how many just players that they have that are good, and like in terms of teams in the Pacific. They're definitely one of the deepest teams in the Pacific. And now with the Fiala edition, they have more added scoring. They have Kaliev, who apparently isn't as one-dimensional as I thought, but he just has an absolute rip of a shot. Gabe Velarde's been really good. Their decor, a lot of names that you wouldn't necessarily have as like premier defensive names, but Drew Doughty has apparently been really good this year. And then like all their supporting defensemen have been like very, very good. So if they can somehow find like a goalie that for cheap, maybe go to Buffalo and get one of their 18 million goalies that they have, or trade for like Vejmelka or something, I don't know. But if they can get goaltending, I think they're going to be pretty...
I mean, if Cam Talbot doesn't want to re-sign...
That could be a team.
He's a UFA after this year.
Yeah.
Even this year, though, that's what I'm saying. Because LA's in a spot to make the playoffs, and like in the Pacific, they can at least make some kind of a run, at least past the first round, because that division is horrible. So I could see them being a active team at the deadline.
Wild horse team as well. Yeah.
I could
Wild horse?
Like they'll get in
Dark horse?
Sorry, dark horse team.
I think he was combining a wild card and a horse.
Like they'll get in, but I think they could make some noise because they've done it before.
I mean, I could easily see it, yeah. It's just goaltending is what it comes down to for them, I'm pretty sure.
They're going to get to the second round and then get swept.
By Edmonton. And then Edmonton's going to get swept by Colorado, and we're just going to relive the whole thing that happened last year. So
the Oilers...
I actually don't think Colorado's going to do as well in the playoffs this year.
I disagree, bro. Again, my whole basis of this is just based off what I saw in NHL today. We were going through their team. I was taking off, when you go and scratch players and you add all the players back, I was taking off guys that were 72 overall, 74 overall, just all over the place, and just plugging in these mid-90 players. And I don't know, bro. The fact that they're just in the second wild card spot or the first wild card spot.
But I said do as well. That means they're not going to win the Stanley Cup.
My only thing is with them, the bar is pretty high now. So my thing with them is goaltending. there's a lot of teams that are just either hogging their 2 goalies or they just don't have a goalie. And I think with Colorado, they got good goaltending from Kemper last year, but I don't really see Georgiev or Francouz as like anywhere near that caliber, or at least like consistency wise. So I'm curious to see which one of them actually starts in the playoffs for them if they make it. So
Maybe they'll trade for Kemper again.
and take Mantha with it, I guess. I can trust Charlie Lindgren.
The Oilers power play.
Ridiculous.
Insane power play.
I was actually looking at the top scorers in the league. You know who are both up there? Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins
Yeah.
are lighting it up
Yes.
on the power play with these
Yeah.
guys.
McDavid and
crazy.
Draisaitl are like 50-50 with power play points and even strength points. Hyman and Nuge are like 70% power play points.
Yeah.
Especially Nuge, bro.
But their power play just clicks. They had
They never have a dry spell.
Yeah, but then they just it seems like there's a lot of skill on the ice and there's a lot of ability out there, but like I have to give credit to not only the players but also to
The coaching staff, the fans.
because there are some plays they make out there which they execute to perfection, and I'm pretty sure that those are set plays.
Well, I feel like McDavid and Draisaitl just have like a connection. That
Yeah, but they
I don't
had
understand.
just about a week ago. They had this play
About
off
a
the
week ago.
face-off. They
Yeah.
had this play off the face-off, which was insane. It was just tick, tick, tick in.
Yeah.
And I was like, that has to be a set play.
The thing with
Yeah.
bro, that Oilers power play, I don't know if like you watch it regularly or not, but like for me, every time I see them, it's literally just McDavid and Draisaitl doing circles around the ice, and then like 3 guys just kind of just stay in the middle, and then they're just passing it around, and eventually there's just one guy wide open in front of the net, and that person scores.
So Zach Hyman's career high in points is 54, which was last year in 76 games.
He's way past that.
In 41 games this year, he has 44 points. So he's about to destroy that.
Contract's looking good.
Yeah. I mean, works hard.
Too bad Jack Campbell can't keep up his
Wait.
Well, it doesn't.
Zach Hyman was drafted by
saved them.
Florida?
Yeah, Skinner saved them.
What?
Zach Hyman was drafted by Florida?
I honestly didn't even know that. That's random.
Oh, I now remember that. I forgot about that.
Where was
But-
Michael Bunting
The
drafted?
heck?
Oh, I know this. Where was he drafted? Oh, I know this. Where was it?
Arizona.
Ah, Arizona.
Oh, I knew that. I thought you were like pranking.
Hey, that Bunting contract this offseason is going to look nice. And it's not going to be from Toronto.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be Toronto.
There's no way.
No.
They're going to have to
Also,
find another
Ryan
Bunting.
Nugent-Hopkins has 26 power play points, which ties his career high,
How many points does he have?
48 in 42 games. Actually, they have points tonight, so he has 50 points.
How many on power play?
None tonight.
Huge. Okay, now he's in a safe spot so people can't get mad at him.
Yeah.
Which, wait, he has 26 power play points and 50 points? So still over half of his points are power play.
And then Zach Hyman's career high in power play points is 17, which is this year.
Oh my god.
Before it was 10, which was last year.
That's actually less than half his points. There you go. To be fair, I guess at 5-on-5 he does play with McDavid. So
Yeah.
And you know who was that? They're having trouble finding a line mate for them because I mean Kane's out. When Kane
Oh
comes
yeah,
back,
I forgot about that. Was such a bad injury.
Oh, it was very
Yeah,
bad.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was bad.
when he, I think he's coming back sooner, like later. It's not gonna be too long. And then, but right now they have Klim Kostin playing on that first line.
Can I tell you the points and how this goes in Edmonton? It's 77, 62, 48, 44, 29, 21, 16, 13 at 8. The person at 8 is Evander Kane.
So he'd actually be in that like 6 at the start, or like 4, whatever it was. If
Like-
he did play.
I mean, I'm like not trying to compare, but
I
like
mean, at this point, the
the
power play
Senators,
leave
it's
him off when he comes
40,
back.
39, 37, 36, 36, 22, 17, 14.
The thing is, 70 plus like 50 will get you a lot of goals.
Yeah.
So I mean, after that, it's kind of just like whatever.
Well, 70 plus 60 plus 40.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, their power play is. I mean, generally speaking, it's good, but this year it seems to be on
If you
another level.
yeah, but if you combine like their top 6s, the thing is, I don't even know what Edmonton's top 6 is. There's a lot of different players, but if you just take those 4 players and then Ottawa's
Yeah.
like 6 players, combine their points, I think it's going to be around the same.
Yeah, potentially.
It might actually be more, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
So we'll end with our head-to-head, but is there anything else in the sporting world that you guys noticed? Like maybe Cristiano Ronaldo playing for the best team in the world?
well, they're
Saudi.
gonna have a. It's gonna be a Al Nassr versus some PSG friendly. So they're gonna start.
Do you know what sucks though? So you know that striker from Ghana, or no, Senegal, this African striker that scored a really nice goal in the World Cup. He played for that Saudi team, right? Because of Ronaldo, he got let go.
Because he was number 7?
Yeah. And because now he's not going to get playing time.
Yeah, I mean that's
Poor guy, man.
Yeah.
He's also making more money than like the league combined. So
Ronaldo. The funny thing is Ronaldo isn't able to start the first 2 season games.
what?
Because of a suspension. He has to still, which apparently still
Applies in
applies
Saudi.
even in Saudi. It's apparently
It's how they make it a legit
according
league.
to world football rules and stuff. But anyway, it was he knocked the phone out of a fan, and out of a fan's hand or something like that. Did something like that anyway, and he got a
character,
2-game suspension a while back. So. He has to serve that still. So his apparently it's going to be a delayed start for him. But yeah,
So he's literally just going to be chilling in his palace. So
yeah, he requested the Saudi government to allow his girlfriend to live with him. Yeah,
because apparently that's illegal if you're not married.
yeah, it's Saudi.
So-
Yeah,
And did they say yes? Because
Yes.
it's Cristiano. Oh, yeah.
A lot of the rules being bent here for money.
And Cristiano.
yeah.
Well,
Well, I like this.
it's making everyone money realistically.
He's putting Saudi on a more of a.
Is it reputable though?
He's putting.
Really?
He's giving Saudi more of a name that's not negative in some way.
I mean, you could also talk about like the
Go
Saudi
spin it
Golf
again.
League now. Have you heard about that?
No, what's one?
So there's a Saudi Golf
Yeah, I
Tour
know
now
about
that's
this.
called. Oh, I don't remember exactly what it's called. Regardless, they're essentially buying out all the PGA players. So they're going, hey, Phil Mickelson, who's a 55-year-old golfer, like he's still a good golfer, but he's probably like his best days are behind him, but he's a big name. They're like, we'll give you $600 million to come play on our tour. And so in the PGA, how you earn money is you have to pay everything for yourself to go to it, and then you hopefully place well. And if you place well or win, then you get money. But usually if you don't do very well, then it's essentially money out of your pocket. Where in the NHL and stuff, it's like, we're flying you out. We pay for your meals. We do this. We do that. Where you're paying for everything as a golfer. So they're paying for everything in the Saudi League. And as well as they're giving them way more money. So all these golfers now are leaving this. And some of them it makes sense. Like if you're not a very high-ranked golfer and you might not make a ton of money off it, and this Saudi League goes, hey, we'll give you $15 million to come play in our league, you're probably going to take it if you've never made any money. But like there's some guys who've made like hundreds of millions of dollars and
Dustin
they're going
Johnson.
now to play for more hundreds of million dollars. But then some people are saying it's like unethical money, so they're not sure if they want it. So some people haven't gone, but some people are now going because they either want money or more money, and some guys have all this money, some don't. So it's a really interesting how Saudi Arabia is now getting all these premier athletes from Europe and North America and stuff to come play in their leagues.
Yeah.
There has been a development on that now, though. So apparently they're going to let them play in like opens, like major tournaments.
Oh wow.
Which is wild. Because like the thing is that the big controversy, that's a really big word to say right now. Controversial player was Dustin Johnson because he apparently is still good, or I think. And he
isn't
took,
he married to
bag.
Wayne Gretzky's daughter?
The last I checked,
Wow.
Paulina.
Sport knowledge.
He went to get that bag, even though he's still a good golfer, I think. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know much about that. He could be horrible now, but he was a big enough name to cause like a stir. They did offer Tiger Woods like $1 billion.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've offered guys. Some of them get like I said, like $15 million. Some are getting like they offer Tiger Woods. He said no, but like $1 billion. That's crazy.
That's insane. $1 billion.
I mean, he's one of the richest athletes ever.
Yeah.
Because he is like his sponsorships,
Yeah.
all his winnings. Like, he's such a big name.
He doesn't need anymore.
He's probably the biggest golf name ever.
Oh,
He's one of
easy.
the biggest athletes ever, just
Yeah.
period.
Not size.
Yeah. That'd be Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
5'9".
So the head-to-head we're going to do today is a battle of goalies. A battle of goalies in the same state, actually. Rival teams. We have the New York Islanders' Ilya Sorokin and the New York Rangers' Igor Shesterkin. You know, IS and IS. Both Russian. They both had phenomenal seasons. Maybe you could argue Ilya Sorokin's having a bit better season this year. You could argue that Shesterkin had a better season last year. Maybe certain people are on different teams that may have benefited them or hurt them. But my question to you guys is, who would you rather have, Ilya Sorokin or Igor Shesterkin? I usually go first, but I'm going to ask Omar this time. And, you know, because I have an answer.
This is a tough one right now. But I'm going to go Igor Shesterkin.
And why?
Because of... I know he's not... I know you can argue that Sorokin's having a better year this year. Maybe not even argue. Maybe it just might be clear, actually. I don't actually know what the numbers are this year. I do know that Shesterkin has dealt with a little bit of adversity this year. Whereas last year it was like, oh my goodness. But I mean, which goalie hasn't dealt with some adversity? I'm picking Shesterkin solely based on what his potential is from what he did last season, because that was insane. I think he was the sole reason that New York Rangers even made the playoffs. And even this year, even though he's going through adversity, I mean, he's a sophomore. Everyone goes through something in their second.
Third year.
Oh, sorry. Is he third year? I thought he's second year.
I think he might actually be fourth year. No, he's third year.
Third year. Okay. So no, he's not a sophomore, but everyone goes through a little bit, you know. And
No, he's fourth year.
he's fourth year.
No, he's third year actually, but he only played 12 games in the first one. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going through a little bit of a struggle. Goalies do take some time to develop properly, and in his first season, he showed us some crazy hockey. So, at the end of the day, despite any adversity he's going through right now, for a goalie, I'm gonna go with. And that's not to say that Sorokin can't be better, or Sorokin's like at the same age or whatever. But I'm gonna go with Shesterkin just because of last season.
See, Omar and I do this, off of what we're feeling, our experiences playing against them, watching them, looking at stats previously. Sufi, every time I say a person, on his phone, on his thing, we're looking up Jay Fresh.
Yeah.
What does Jay Fresh say about
I'm on Hockey Reference.
So Sufi,
It's true. Where we argue more from the heart and Sufi tape.
I've never looked at Jay Fresh for one of these before.
All right, Sufi.
I also don't even, he's not the one I look at the most, bro.
I know.
I'm just going to lay down their stats because this is hilariously close. So record-wise, I don't really care. They're both, Islanders are a worse team than New York, so it's kind of just going to be lopsided.
Islanders are a worse team than New York.
Islanders are a worse team than the Rangers. Anyways, 84 games played for Igor. 83 games played for Ilya. 184 goals against for Shesterkin. 190 goals against for Sorokin. And this is the last 2 years, by the way. Okay?
Yeah.
928 save percentage with the 223 goals against average for Shesterkin. 925 save percentage and a 236 GA for Sorokin. Okay, so here's 10 shutouts for Sorokin, 7 for Shesterkin. Here is the only difference, really, is that Shesterkin played in the playoffs. He had a bit of a shaky start, but he still ended the playoffs with that 929 save percentage. The one advanced stat that I will bring in is goals saved above average, which again, they're close. Shesterkin had 54.8 in the last 2 years. Sorokin had 48. And in the playoffs, Shesterkin added a 16 goals saved above average, which is nuts. Ottinger was insane in his first year, in that playoff series. So, was saying all that, I was using all that to make my decision here because I really like both goalies. They're both the exact same age, so I can't even take any of that into account. They both came from the KHL. They both play on teams that I don't particularly like. And they're honestly probably my favorite players on both teams. So I hate you. But I'm going to go with Igor.
Shesterkin, yeah.
I'm going Igor. I think the only thing I can really say that I can add to Sorokin factor is team. But personally, the Rangers at 5-on-5 still suck. And they have sucked for the last 2 years. Islanders aren't that much better, but they're a better defensive team at 5-on-5. And that may be because of Sorokin, which, I mean, fair enough. But the only reason that the Rangers are even where they are this year, I would say, for me, is because of Shesterkin. And honestly, because last year in the playoff run also, he still got them to the finals, even after a shaky start. Which I think people like to bring up a lot. But
To the finals?
Didn't they make the finals? No, it was Tampa. To conference finals.
Yeah.
People like to bring up the first round a lot. He figured it out in that series, and then he still ended up the playoffs with .929 save percentage.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I go Igor.
Yeah. That's essentially the same reason as me last year.
But and like the thing is, like, I don't even. And it's not even last year for me. I think this year, like, Shesterkin just had like a really, really bad start. But since, like, if you just take out like his first maybe like 5 games, their stats are probably like close. And the thing is, their stats this year too aren't even that much different. Like, I think it's a 249 to a 230, 925 to 916, which Sorokin is better. But last year's stats are like insane for Shesterkin. Plus the playoff factor, plus their goal saved above averages is similar this year, and Eagles was better last year. Plus the fact that I personally don't think the Rangers are as good of a team without Shesterkin. I think if you put like an average goalie in there, it drops a lot. If you put Sorokin in there, I think they'd maybe be close, but I think that Shesterkin is like a big reason. Again, this is kind of like the Robertson-Thompson one for me, so like tomorrow I could say Sorokin.
Yeah.
But yeah, today I'll say Igor.
Yeah, I think it's really, really close. I think that Sorokin has had... I mean, they both have good years, both years. I think Sorokin has had overall, like, 2... Or I guess if you want to call it... Let's say it's 164 games. So over the past 2 years, I think he's had a more consistent one. But I think he's also on a more defensive team. I think the Rangers are... they give up a lot more, but Igor has saved their ass a lot more, and maybe Sorokin is, like you said, the reason that the Islanders have looked so good defensively or with goals against in general. So yeah, Sorokin, I think, is better this year. I think they're both the best player on their own teams, you could argue.
Sorokin for sure.
Yeah.
Sorokin for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the only real argument in New York is Fox.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really.
Yeah. But I think there's an argument that for sure.
Yeah.
I picked this again, hoping Sufi would go Ilya Sorokin. Because if you've listened to the podcast for a little bit, I said that Matthews should not have won the Hart. No, not the Hart. The Hart. The Hart last year. I think Sorokin should. Oh my gosh, Shesterkin should have won that.
One here.
Yes, because I think he had one of the most historical hockey seasons, especially for a goalie ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Saving and being pretty much the sole reason they made the playoffs, other than like the power play, which I thought was absurd. Like there was no way that Matthews, if you took away Matthews, Toronto probably still makes the playoffs. Like those top 8 teams in the East were probably still making it. So, I don't know. To me, it was like, it's close. And I've tried to pick a player that Sufi would go against me 2 weeks in a row. And he still hasn't. And I thought about lying, but I couldn't do it.
It is very close, though. I mean, I think I like both these goalies. I think you also know that I don't like either team. So, but you also know that like the Islanders are like my least favorite team in the league. So,
but you really like Sorokin.
Sorokin, if he was on any other team, would probably be like a top 2 favorite goalie. Maybe only behind Shesterkin. Who knows? Regardless, I think the bigger question here is who would be Russia's starter?
Vasilevsky, I think.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Vasilevsky's been by quite a margin worse than both of these two goalies in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But
Maybe fatigue plays a role in that.
yeah, fatigue could play a role.
They could also just rotate all three goalies and then just pick whichever one's playing better.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually something you do when you don't have good goalies,
I
but
know,
you have
they do.
such good goalies that you're rotating
Yeah.
arguably three of the best, like, maybe the three best goalies in the world.
Those are my three best goalies in the NHL. I think four I'd put, like, right now, I'd probably put Hellebuck. But I don't see Hellebuck as better than either of those three goalies. Maybe Saros is in, like, the mix or Ottinger, but I don't think any of them really compete. That's kind of crazy that they're all Russian, but I don't know.
Yeah.
They're both Russian, and the two other goalies I said are American.
Can
and then
Canada
one Finnish.
trade for one of them?
Bro, literally.
I mean,
We'll give you, like, Marner.
You know what? All three of them don't even play in Canada, so they can't even get citizenship to decide to play for Canada if they ever wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, the Leafs are probably interested in trading for one of them. TSN will talk about it.
Yeah. You know what I'm curious of, though? So both Igor and, oh my god, I'm going to say their last names. Shesterkin and Sorokin started in the KHL, and they both put absurd numbers up in the KHL.
Yeah.
Vasilevsky gets a lot of credit for the Tampa teams, which I understand fully. It's just a very weird thing for me that they're all like the same age. And for me, if I had seen Sorokin and Shesterkin from like the age of 21 or 22, that same as Vasilevsky, I can't really say that they would have been worse or worse than Vasilevsky. Like, I think if they played at the same time, like, they were doing the same things, just in a different league, and they were doing, like, significantly better than any other goalie in their league. So, you can't really say that, like, they would have came here and been worse if they're this good at the same age.
Yeah.
And arguably better than Vasilevsky right now.
And probably in the second best league in the world.
Yeah. So, for me, like, that argument more for me for
What's the
Shesterkin.
KHL?
KHL.
Yeah.
More for Shesterkin, because he was putting up, like, a 1 GA in the KHL. Like, he could have been here. It's just his contract was still in the KHL for, like, 6 years.
Yeah.
So, I get that Vasilevsky gets credit for that. Understandable. But I can't really use that argument to, like, discredit Shesterkin when it wasn't really, like, a thing that he could have changed.
Yeah.
So, that's, for me, that's why, even if it was, like, a Russia discussion, I'd probably still go Shesterkin.
I think for the starter for them, I mean...
But they also don't care about that, right?
How many teams have a unanimous starter, though?
Finland. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, like, I feel like Sweden,
Allmark,
the US,
yeah, Allmark and Markstrom would be a
Canada,
toss-up.
it could literally go any way. And again, that's usually like it's a good problem to have,
Germany.
I guess.
Grubauer. It's their only
Oh,
one.
yeah, true.
Wait, where's Chris Dreidger from?
Oh, he's like Canadian.
Okay, I know.
Just thinking of Germany names.
Yeah, he's-
Reimer.
Canada would be James Reimer.
Yeah? Right now it'd be Kemper.
Reimer's a German last name.
Mm.
A great German last name.
Wait, but James Reimer's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's from, like, Manitoba.
Yeah.
Right now it'd be Kemper, but in, like, 2 years, I think it'd be Hart.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But,
Kinda hot.
and honestly, the same thing I could say for U.S., where I think right now it'd be Hellebuck, but in 2 year it'd be Ottinger. Because Hellebuck's up there in age, and, like, his legs are going to fall off at some point here. So, and, like, Ottinger's already, like, kind of there. So it pretty much just be an experience thing for him to not start. Although he has had better playoff performance than Hellebuck already.
Yeah.
So, but and honestly, I think the other one where you could have a discussion is Sweden for sure. Because if Leonard comes back next year, that's another goalie into the mix. And then Markstrom hasn't been good this year. And Allmark's been Vezina candidate. So I think Allmark right now would start for Sweden. But yeah. Goalie discussions.
Forsberg.
I actually did have, so they Jay Fresh put out a poll of like who would make each team or whatever, and I did put Forsberg as their goalie.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
but I think in 2 years, 3 years, you could even see someone like Wallstead, just as like a third goalie, because he's gonna be in NHL next year for sure. With Fleury not playing that well this year, so. But you know who is? Gus the Bus. Playing very well.
I know. I he has a
Bro, he vomited at practice.
he has a condition.
Really?
He vomited in the game in between periods, and he still played.
Did you know he has a
What's
condition?
the
Yes.
condition?
So he
That's why I
when
said
he
that.
gets stressed or something or like anxious, I don't remember exactly what it is. His blood flow to his appendages worsens, so that he may, like, I don't know if it's like pass out or like lose feeling in his
Maybe
arms
throw
and
up.
legs and stuff. So he has to stay super calm and super, like, I guess, like, focused in the moment, or else he'll, like, start losing blood flow to, like, different parts of his body.
Good trade for a goalie.
I mean, Talbot's been really good for us. He's just a lot older.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also the thing is Canada's development goalie-wise hasn't been as good now, but I think we've also just been, like, spoiled with good goalies for, like, 15 years, where we kind of had, like, a starter no matter what. Where it was, like, Broder, Luongo, Price.
Fleury.
The
No,
problem,
I know he wasn't a starter, but like,
that's
he
the
could have
problem.
been
Yeah.
if it was a different year.
That's the problem with Fleury, is that he was already in that era. So, like, now he's just old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was a great number 2 for each of those years.
Mm-hmm.
That whole Broder-Luongo saga in 2010 was also hilarious because Broder was very clearly not the better goalie, but they started him anyway. And then he tried to, like, baseball bat the puck out of the air and gave it right to the America team, and they scored, and then they never played him again. Because that's the time that U.S. won, like, the group game, and then we beat them in overtime. It was a Crosby golden goal year.
Yeah.
Suck on that wit. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. We may or may not have some really big news for you guys very soon, so tune into the next couple episodes, and hopefully we'll have some big news for you guys. Anything else you guys want to say?
Yeah, our next episode 18 should have some news for you. Let's just say that. Yep. Also remember, we are on, I'm going to go through the list, guys, here, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay? But everyone needs to
Get
know.
comfortable. Get some popcorn.
We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, SiriusXM, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher.
So if
I don't know what half of those are.
you have a preference of what platform you'd like to listen to, you can find us on any of those and spread us around if you are liking the podcast, or if you think that someone you know may like it as well.
For all of you Spotify listeners, there is a poll where we sometimes put questions of stuff we talk about in the podcast, and you can give your vote, like the head-to-head and stuff. So
We do.
it's a recent development, which is why I'm announcing it now. Yes.
And we'll probably also put polls on the Instagram stories and Twitter as well, and you guys can let us know which player you prefer and if you think we're numbskulls or you think we're brilliant.
Yeah, or a bit of both.
Yes, that's probably about right. All right, well, thanks again for tuning in, guys, and we'll talk to you next week.
Take care, guys.